Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This video, we're looking at the Wednesday NBA slate. We have 10 games tonight, tipping off at 7 o'clock. So let's get started. As always, appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already. Looking at yesterday's slate, felt just a little bit short on DraftKings. Needed a better game from SGA. Had some other solid picks in there like Collins, Kevin Porter, Satoransky, and then Moses Brown, who was chalk, but he was essential. Going for 50 plus at 3,500. Just needed S here to do a little bit better. So FanDuel did all right. He cashed in like the double ups and then some tournaments. But let's get into today's picks. As we'll look at point guard options. If you want the updates later in the day, you can check out Twitter. You can check out the website if you wanted to join. And let's get started. So point guard options tonight. Three guys above 10,000. We have Harden 10-9, Luka 10-7, Westbrook 10-4. Out of the matchups here, Westbrook has the best matchup then I would say Harden, then Luka. Westbrook 10-4 against Sacramento. This game is going to be an absolute shootout. Probably will go over 240 points easily. Could be looking at a 250 plus total here between these two teams with just how fast they play. So I probably like Bradley Beal at 9,300 more than Westbrook, but I definitely wouldn't recommend like fading him if you play 150 lineups. And then we have De'Aaron Fox at only 9,200 as well. He's been pretty solid recently, 46, 51, 56, 64. He's playing big minutes. They are without Bagley for a while. Another injury from Marvin Bagley. The dude just can't stay healthy. It's really unfortunate. But I really like Fox here against the Wizards. Should go absolutely bonkers against them. So he's my favorite option in the 9K range. I like him more than Kyrie, and I like him more than Steph Curry just based on the price tag. And the Simmons 89, I'd probably rather go up to like Fox at 92, or rather go all the way up for like Westbrook. And then there's not going to be Oladipo, there's not going to be John Wall, so Houston is going to be depleted once again against Golden State. Uh, so we'll spend some time. Hopefully, they might get some pieces back like Ben McLemore and maybe Daniel House. So we'll see. And then I think Christian Wood was doubtful heading into yesterday's game, so we'll see if he happens to play or not. I don't think he will, but even if he does, it'll be super limited. And then 7K range, it's nothing that I'm going crazy with. John Morant, tough matchup. Don't think I'll go there on a big slate. Also, Jamal Murray, 76. Don't think I want to go to him, although he gives you big upside, but he just doesn't give you high enough floor. And the price tag is still kind of up there at 76. And then DeJounte Murray is in play against Chicago. There's still no DeRozan for them. And then in the 6K range, there's not going to be Kemba tonight. He's been resting on all back-to-backs, so you can just assume he'll sit. It's not the most appealing matchup against Cleveland, but if there's no Kemba, we could see Marcus Smart jump into the starting lineup, and maybe his minutes will go up. And then we also have like Daniel Tice, who looks pretty good tonight just because he's really cheap, and I don't think Tristan Thompson will play after he was ruled out yesterday's game for protocol reasons. Usually they're out for a few games. 6K range, it's really Kevin Porter who looks excellent at 6,800 bucks. There's no Oladipo as well. Plays huge minutes. Hopefully they happen to keep this game somewhat competitive so he gets that fourth quarter run. But even like yesterday they had 8 guys. They might only have 8 or 9 guys tonight, depending on House and McLemore. So, he's still gonna have to play a big chunk of minutes like the rest of the team. So I really like him. Great price tag. Jrue Holiday going back to Philly, spent most of his early part of his career in Philly. To start, was pretty good for them. 6,300, really nice price tag, revenge spot. So I don't mind Jrue Holiday at all. He's looking pretty good. I like him way more than Rozier, Kobe White, Garland in the 6K range. 5K range, don't mind DeLon Wright. I really like Halliburton, especially if he starts here. Without Bagley, they could put Halliburton in the starting lineup, and if that does happen, hopefully his minutes will go back up over 30, but he's at a price tag where 55, he was 67, 66, so we're getting a great tag on Halliburton in one of the best matchups you could ask for. So he's definitely a guy that I'm going to be considering if he starts. Even if he comes off the bench, he's in play. And then for value, see if Dennis Smith plays or not. He's questionable. So we'll see. I don't really want to target too many pieces on the Pistons, and the Raptors game isn't looking like one of the ones I want to target too heavily, especially if Toronto gets some of their pieces back, Siakam, etc. And then 4K range, it's maybe you can look to like Patty Mills at 43, or maybe you can look to Devontae Graham as a punt play. But really, in the 3K range, it's pretty solid with Satoransky's only 3,800. He looks good. be the first guy I plug in. Corey Joseph will also see some good minutes off the bench. There's a chance they even start him alongside Fox, so we'll see which direction they go. But I really like Sato. He's really played well since they put him in the starting lineup 2 games ago. He's put up 34 and 32 play. His minutes have gone up 26 to 31. Probably will see similar minutes tonight, and it's just too cheap. You don't get a starting point guard at 3,800 very often, so I will take advantage of that with Satoransky. At shooting guard, Bradley Beal is the top play at the position, 9,300. Great matchup against the Kings. Plays huge minutes, spot where he can absolutely drop like 40, 50 points. So, really like him. I like him more than Westbrook based on the price tag. Don't think I'll go Kyrie. You can go Zach LaVine if you wanted to. His price tag is really nice at 8,800, but I like Bradley Beal a little bit more. And even if Van Fleet plays, I don't want to go to him at 81 against the Pistons. Paul George, good price tag. He's just not been playing well recently. So I'll probably look somewhere else. I love Karis LeVert. He's only $6,800. Former team against the Brooklyn Nets here. Definitely a revenge spot for LeVert. His minutes have gone up from 27 to 29, and that they kind of didn't play their starters too much at the end of the game against the Nuggets as that game was getting out of hand. So probably could have played a little bit more. I think that there's a chance he goes over 30 tonight. Price tag went from 71.7K to 68. So a little bit of a decrease for LeVert, and I just expected him to play well against his former team. The matchup is great. They give up so many points. LeVert kind of hopefully knows some of the defensive schemes that Brooklyn runs, so maybe he'll be able to take advantage of it. But I really like $6,800 LeVert going up against Brooklyn. Other guys at shooting guard that look appealing, it's definitely Buddy Hield, 6,400. No Bagley is going to just give him some extra minutes. He's already been playing huge minutes, 37, 38, and Luke Ball's a guy that runs a pretty tight rotation. So we're like Buddy Hield gives you 40, 45, high 30-point upside, takes a ton of shots. Great spot for him to make most of his shots as they give up a ton of threes. They give up a ton of points in general, so should get open looks all night. So love Buddy Hield at shooting guard or small forward. You can maybe look to Andrew Wiggins, only 5,700. I like Halliburton at 55. And then maybe you can look to Jarek White if you wanted to at 54, but he's not been as consistent as I hoped he would be without DeRozan. And then the value range, it's nothing that I'm looking crazy at in the 4K range. In the 3K range, it's actually maybe you can look to Lonnie Walker. He's still coming off the bench, but without DeRozan, maybe he can have an outlier game. And 3K range, maybe McGruder if they're still shorthanded, but he's already questionable, so could even be more shorthanded for Pistons tonight. But LeVert looks to be one of my favorites. Small forward, a Butler, 97. It's pretty expensive against Memphis unless like they rule Bam out on a back-to-back. I probably won't go to Butler. I like Tatum a little bit at 9,200. Don't expect Kemba to play. They're probably not going to have Tristan Thompson. But there's a couple of games that just have way higher totals that I'm going to be focusing on, like Brooklyn and the Wizards game. And then you have like Ben Simmons 89. We have Kawhi 87. I'd go Kawhi over Ben. I don't really want to go to Chris Middleton against Philly. And then we have Jaylen Brown. I think he looks good. If you wanted to save some money, you can play him over Tatum. But really, they have a couple of guys in the 6K range that I like. Buddy Hield at 64. I like him more than Harrison Barnes, but Harrison Barnes also in play. We'll go down a position, hopefully, and get some power forward minutes, and we'll hopefully be able to get some more rebounds here. I don't mind Wiggins, 57, just a great spot against Houston for the entire Warriors team. And then a 4K range, Larry Nance is only 4,700. His minutes are going to be high. They're a tough team to project, but I do like Nance at that price tag. It does give you some upside. You have maybe Patrick Williams. You have Sterling Brown. If they're super shorthanded, he's only 4,600. He's going to have to play a lot of minutes if they're without House and or Ben McLemore. And then that's the core guys. And then for value, it's like Marcus Morris. Now that he's starting, will hopefully get 30 minutes every single night. And then you have a couple of cheap plays. Bertans is only 3,800. This is a type of matchup where you wanted to take a shot on a guy like Bertans, a guy that can knock down threes. His price tag has just absolutely dropped off on him. He's been 41, 45, 47. He was over 56 like a month ago. Now he's only 38 in a great spot. Probably will get you mid-20s, low 30s in minutes depending on how he's playing. Just think he looks pretty good to pass up. at 3,800, especially if you play a bunch of teams that definitely have him in your player pool and at least in a sprinkle of your lineups. And that's mainly it. Like Jeremy Lamb, if he does play, he's only 3,300. He comes off the bench now, but that price tag is really cheap on him. But I'm gonna go with Buddy Hield. Just love the game environment here. Kings against the Wizards. Nice price tag on Hield, and just expect him and De'Aaron Fox to have to do a lot of the scoring. Power forward, I like Sabonis at 94. You can also go to Giannis if you want Giannis without Embiid. Sure, get a great matchup down low. I mean, you'll probably be guarded by Ben Simmons, pretty good defender, but Giannis can score on anybody. I like Sabonis. Tough game from him last time out. Only put up 37, was one rebound shy of a triple-double, which would have helped. Only played 31 minutes, too, as that kind of got out of hand late in the game. But normally we're getting, like, played 43 in regulation against Phoenix, 34, 38, 38, 34, 36. So at least Ross lost one rotation. He's been playing big minutes. Expect this game to be close. And Brooklyn is a matchup where I want to target bigs against. Like, I wish Jeff Green some good luck defending Sabonis. They have him and DeAndre Jordan as their bigs. So Sabonis should absolutely be able to eat. I will go right back to him tonight. Then we have maybe you can look to Gordon Hayward, but the matchup is not the most appealing against Denver on the road. 6K range, like Olynyk, even with Bam, had a great game, which was really surprising. If Bam happens to sit tonight, you could look to him. At least price tag has really gone up. You have Rashawn Holmes, you can play center at power forward, which is always appealing. He had his best game of his life last time out with 58. People will probably be going right back to him. I think he still gives you upside without Bagley, especially if there's no Whiteside. His minutes will be super high. And then the low 6K range, it's like Kelly Oubre's only 6,200 now. He's been struggling recently, but still gives you that outlier game if you can get hot shooting. I like Draymond at 66. Good spot for him to kind of have an all-around good game. Marketing at only 5,800 also is appealing just based on the price tag. He's a little bit too cheap given the matchup. Probably a lock for at least high 20s, low 30s DraftKings points. Jayshawn Tate. Also, this position is pretty loaded with value. If they're shorthanded, he's going to have to play a ton of minutes. And, I mean, they're already going to be shorthanded. If they're even more shorthanded without House and Ben McLemore, then he looks great. And I don't think Christian Wood will play. But if he happens to play, then we can bump him down a little bit. And then in the 4K range, it's really Larry Nance, who looks somewhat appealing. And then just some punt plays with Bridges, Otto Porter, Paul Millsap. And then 3K range, and then besides Marcus Morris, it's really Bertans at 38. Bielitsa at 37 if he starts in place of Bagley would be a really nice value play. And that's mainly it. So at this position, power forward, got to mention one guy, and that's the guy that I was going to plug in here, and that's going to be Daniel Tice, who's 4,100. Really nice price tag on him. Reason that he looks appealing tonight is Cleveland plays big with Larry Nance, with Jared Allen. So you expect a guy like Tice to get at least good minutes tonight, and also Tristan Thompson was ruled out of last game, so if he's not going to be out there, then it's really Tice and Robert Williams as the two bigs. When they had three bigs with Thompson, Tice, and Williams, like Tice was kind of getting left off some games. He played like 6-7 minutes. But if Thompson is out, then you can easily project Tice for over 20 minutes, at least, like probably 25, closer to 30, especially without Kemba tonight. So I really like him at 4,100. It gives you pretty good upside whenever he's given minutes. Center, besides Jokic and Giannis at the top, I like Jokic more than Giannis just based on the matchup. I think he should absolutely be able to crush against Charlotte, especially against Zeller. I like Sabonis a ton at 9,400. Christian Wood, I don't expect him to play. Maybe. If he does play, he'll be limited, but I don't want to play him. I'm not going to play him at 85. Bonus is a guy I'll have at center or power forward here at 94. Just such a great spot against Brooklyn. Should be able to get you at least double-digit rebounds. I'm expecting closer to 15 rebounds. Probably will get 20, 15, a couple blocks, hopefully. He's not really known for blocks, so maybe get some steals against this Brooklyn team. And he has 10-plus assists in 3 of 4 games. So, been absolutely balling out for the Pacers this year. As the value centers, you have Rashawn Holmes at 6,700. And then we have maybe like Turner at only 59, Pirtle at 5,900. You could play Tice if you wanted to at center at 4,100. And then we have Wendell Carter started the second half and plays with Thaddeus Young. If he starts tonight, then you could look to him, but the Bulls kind of getting healthy now, so it's tough to pick between Carter, Thad Young as your centers, especially if they're going to split some time. And then I'm not really looking at anybody else cheap except for Zubats. If there's no Serge Ibaka tonight, he would be a pretty nice value play at only 4,500. And then last but not least, it's going to be Kevin Porter Jr. to plug in at the guard spot. So far, he's been playing really well in every game except for one for the Rockets. The usage has been there every single game, though. The production has been there in pretty much every single game except for that one. Great spot against the Warriors. Looking like he's going to have to carry the team tonight without Oladipo and John Wall. So he's the guy you want to plug in. So that's mainly it for the DraftKings first look at the slate. Let's jump over to FanDuel. All right, over on FanDuel, starting off at point guards, we have also great price tags on Luka and Westbrook, 10-2 and 10-4 respectively. The 9K range is also strong with Steph Curry, De'Aaron Fox, Kyrie. I like Fox a ton, then Curry, and then if I had to pick at the top, it would be probably Luka at 10-2. 8K range, if they get Van Fleet, Siakam back, then I don't want to play Kyle Lowry. LaMelo is also, price tag is coming down a little bit, but it's still probably not cheap enough compared to some of these other price tags we have. Like Simmons is only 7,900. That price tag looks pretty good on FanDuel. We have Jamal Murray at only 6,800. You have Drew Holiday at 59. And then you also have some even more cheap plays here with like Satoransky is 30 something or 4,200 or no 3,900 for Sato. Looks really good if you wanted to go cheap. Have besides Holiday, you have like Delon Wright at only 5,400 in the 5K range. You have Derek White at 5K flat. So a lot of options here. If you wanted to pay up, it would probably be between Curry and Fox for me. Both look really strong in the 9K range. Go ahead and just plug in Fox for now at 91. At shooting guard, I like Beal. I like him more than Harden. I like him more than Levine. I like Levine as well. And then you can't play. I'm not going to play Van Fleet even if he does play 85. I'm not going to play Sexton at that price tag against Boston. I don't really want to go to Paul George. I like Buddy Hield at 6,500. I like Halliburton if he starts 63. And then you have Wiggins at only 5,400 as a really nice not min priced, but like a value play who gives you some upside, but he's a little bit risky. But FanDuel just does not price Karis LeVert up. 40, he was 39, then 41, then 44. I mean, just he's going to be super popular tonight. I don't know how you don't play him, though. 44 against Brooklyn. Minutes are going up. Production is there for him every single game that he's played this year, basically. He's just way, way too cheap. So definitely play some Karis LeVert on FanDuel. Small forward, don't want to go to almost 11,000 Butler. Kawhi looks all right at 93. You have some decent plays in the 7K range with Middleton, Jaylen Brown, but Kevin Porter is only 6,300. That's looking like a lock for me at the position. I also think you can look at Harrison Barnes if he starts at power forward. That would help him. If Kenyon Martin is up to 5,000, but if he starts tonight, he would look appealing. You can play him and Porter next to each other. And those are the main guys. If you wanted to punt with a play, you have McDermott at 39, Porter at 38, and Joe Harris at 38. Moving on to power forward, Sabonis looks to be one of my favorites at the position, 9,200 against Brooklyn. Expecting a monster game out of him in the rebounding department. He can score a ton tonight, hopefully. Get some putbacks. So he's my favorite based on the price. Giannis probably gives you the most, gives you like the highest ceiling at 11.4. And then I probably look to like Tobias at 7,800. Just going to have to carry the scoring load without Embiid. I don't mind going to Draymond at 6,700. And then you have some nice price tags on Lowry Markkinen at 5,800. Tayshaun Tate at $5,000 exactly. Then you have Daniel Tice at 4,400, who looks pretty good. I mean, assuming there's no Thompson, he would probably get you good minutes again. And we've seen him put up 30, high 30s, even 40s at times this year. So he would be my cheap play that I consider. And then you also have Bertans, who's only 4,100. And you also have Patrick Williams at 4,000. Position is pretty loaded at the value place. So I'll probably go one stud, one cheap guy. At center, besides Jokic, is the only stud at the position to pay up for. If you wanted to go cheap here, you have Holmes at 6,900. That's like a kind of getting up there in price, but if there's no Whiteside, then his minutes will be super secure at center. Don't mind going to Plumlee at only 5,800. You have Jakob Poeltl at a good price tag at 56. And then you have like Justin Patton if you wanted to take a shot with him. You have Cody Zeller at 43, but I'd probably go to Zubats at 45 if there's still no Serge Ibaka tonight. And then if you wanted to go pure punt play, you maybe look at James Wiseman at only 3,800. So basically, you're gonna have to take a wait and see approach at center, see if Ibaka's plays or not. Because if he doesn't, then I like Zubats a lot at 45. So right now, I'll probably just plug in one of these 6K options, and we'll definitely have to change that. I think Turner looks pretty appealing against Brooklyn if you wanted to stack him and Sabonis and LeVert in the same lineup. Plumlee looks pretty good at 5,800, and then Poeltl at 56. Or we can go into the 4K range and just plug in like, you don't mind going to DeAndre Jordan if you wanted to at 4,300. He's gonna have to play good minutes, I think, tonight, at least 30 against like Sabonis and Turner front court. 43, hopefully he can get some lobs from Harden and Irving, and hopefully he can at least hit 30. That would be really nice if he happens to get you to 30 FanDuel points, but we'll see. Maybe we can go up to Zubats. Hopefully that would be the best case scenario, but for now, plug in Jordan. So that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Best of luck tonight, and see you all later.